Yo, before we even start today's show, did y'all witness what happened? Because I still can't believe it. Caitlin Clark, number 22, pulls up from logo range, drains a three, hits the ice in the vein celebration, and then calmly walks straight toward Tiffany Hayes. No hesitation, no fear, just pure confidence. And according to fans sitting courtside, Clark looked Hayes dead in the eyes and said, "You like that?" The arena exploded. Hayes instantly lost it. Players started moving toward each other. Coaches were yelling from the sidelines, and the tension shot through the roof in seconds. But here's the crazy part. Caitlin Clark never backed down. Not once. She didn't flinch. She stood there completely unfazed, like she was ready for whatever came next. That moment perfectly sums up what her entire WNBA career has become. Survival, constant pressure, constant contact, constant drama. And somehow she keeps standing tall while the league around her looks more chaotic every single week. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Dre Fiver, and this is Street Hoops. Today we're diving deep into the biggest storyline in women's basketball, because things are officially reaching another level. Social media is exploding, fans are furious, and one player appears completely done staying quiet. Sophie Cunningham has entered the conversation again, and people believe she's preparing to defend Caitlin Clark at all costs. Now let's be real for a second. The Indiana Fever knew exactly what they were doing when they brought Sophie Cunningham back. This wasn't just another free agent signing. This was strategic. Clark is the face of women's basketball right now. Whether people love her or hate her, she moves ratings, ticket sales, jersey sales, and media coverage unlike anybody else in the sport. The Fever understand that. Their front office understands that. And most importantly, their fans understand that. That's why Sophie Cunningham's role has become so important. Over the last 2 seasons, fans started calling her Clark's bodyguard, protector, and enforcer. Those labels didn't come from nowhere. They came from repeated moments where Clark appeared to take hard fouls, trash talk, and physical treatment while the league stayed mostly silent. And every single time things got heated, Sophie seemed ready to step into the fire for her teammate. According to reports around the league, when Indiana re-signed Cunningham, insiders openly described the move as bringing back Clark's enforcer. Think about that wording for a second. Not scorer, not veteran leader, enforcer. That tells you everything about how intense this situation has become around the Fever and around Caitlin Clark specifically. But none of this started yesterday. The tension has been building since Clark entered the WNBA. Back during her rookie season, fans constantly argued that she was being targeted physically by opposing players. Every hard foul became a national debate. Every confrontation went viral online. And the biggest flashpoint came when Kennedy Carter delivered that now infamous shoulder check that sent Clark crashing to the floor during a nationally televised game. The clip spread everywhere within minutes. Some people defended it as tough basketball. Others called it cheap, unnecessary, and dangerous. But regardless of which side fans took, that moment changed everything. From then on, Caitlin Clark stopped being viewed as just a rookie sensation. She became the center of every conversation surrounding the league. And now here we are in 2026. The pressure is even bigger. The spotlight is even brighter. The rivalries are more personal. Social media drama is spiraling out of control, and every nationally televised Fever game feels like reality television mixed with playoff basketball. But through all of it, Caitlin Clark keeps showing up, keeps competing, and keeps refusing to back down from anybody standing in front of her. The referees called absolutely nothing. Fans watching at home could not believe what they were seeing. Dejonai Carrington kept pressing Caitlin Clark possession after possession with physical defense that many viewers argued would have triggered immediate flagrant foul reviews if it had happened to almost any other superstar in the league. The contact kept escalating. The reactions online became louder, and the controversy surrounding how Clark was being officiated only grew stronger. Every game seemed to produce another viral clip, another hard hit, another missed whistle, another debate exploding across social media. Meanwhile, the WNBA continued releasing carefully worded statements that many fans felt said basically nothing at all. No strong acknowledgement, no clear action, just more frustration building among Fever supporters and basketball audiences, watching the situation unfold in real time. And through all of it, Caitlin Clark kept playing. She kept showing up every night despite the pressure surrounding her. She kept competing through the contact, through the criticism, and through the nonstop media attention. Most importantly, she kept putting up numbers that made her impossible for the league to ignore. Ratings climbed whenever she played. Arenas sold out. Television audiences exploded. Whether critics liked it or not, Clark had become the center of the basketball world. Then came the 2025 season, and according to many fans, the officiating drama only intensified. One of the most talked about moments happened during a close game against the New York Liberty. On the final possession, Clark appeared to take a clear shoulder directly into her body while attempting to make a play that could have changed the outcome of the game. Fever fans immediately screamed for a foul. Commentators questioned the non-call. Replays circulated online within seconds, but the referees swallowed their whistles completely. Clark threw her hands into the air in disbelief as the final seconds disappeared. Indiana lost the game, and for many viewers, it became yet another example of the league failing to protect its biggest attraction. Things escalated even further during the playoffs when Clark, sidelined with injury, voiced frustration on social media about officiating while watching her team compete without her. Instead of ignoring the comments, the league fined her. That decision sparked enormous backlash online. Fans could not understand why the face of the league, the player driving record attention and television ratings, was being punished for publicly criticizing officiating standards. But the true turning point of this entire saga arrived on June 17, 2025, during a heated matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun. The atmosphere inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse felt tense from the opening tip. Clark was attacking defenses, creating offense, and drawing constant physical attention. During one sequence, J.C. Sheldon appeared to poke Clark directly in the eye with no whistle called. Moments later, Marina Mabrey shoved Clark to the floor, finally forcing referees to intervene. By that point, Sophie Cunningham had clearly seen enough. Late in the fourth quarter, Cunningham forcefully brought Sheldon to the ground, instantly igniting a full-team confrontation. Players rushed across the court, tempers exploded, and chaos erupted inside the arena. 3 players were eventually ejected as security and coaches tried restoring order. The Fever still won the game, but the Real story came afterward. Within days, Sophie Cunningham reportedly gained hundreds of thousands of followers online. Fans celebrated her actions as a sign that someone inside the organization was finally standing up for Caitlin Clark. And when Cunningham faced reporters after the game, she made her position crystal clear. She did not apologize. Instead, she calmly told the media that frustration had been building for years because, in her view, the league was failing to protect its biggest star. Then she delivered the quote that immediately went viral across the basketball world. At the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. I want you to really think about that quote for a second, because it was much bigger than simple trash talk. That was not a player trying to sound tough for cameras or social media clips. Sophie Cunningham was making a direct statement about the culture surrounding officiating in the WNBA. She was openly saying she believed the league had failed to protect its biggest star, and she was willing to accept the consequences for speaking up. The fine, the criticism, the ejection, all of it. In her mind, it was worth it. And honestly, looking back over the last 2 seasons, a lot of fans believe she had a point. That is what makes this story so fascinating, because the mainstream conversation around Sophie Cunningham completely misses the bigger picture. People keep treating her like a side character in the Caitlin Clark storyline, like she's just the loyal teammate standing in the background. But that framing ignores what Cunningham has actually become over the last year. She has turned into one of the most outspoken and recognizable personalities in women's basketball. Heading into the 2026 season, Cunningham launched her own podcast called Show Me Something, and the show immediately gained attention because of how direct and honest she was willing to be. She talks openly about the league, officiating, player culture, media narratives, and issues that many players avoid discussing publicly. Fans gravitated toward it because it felt real and unfiltered in a sports world that is often filled with carefully scripted answers. Then came one of the most revealing moments of the entire officiating debate. During an episode earlier this season, Cunningham shared details from official player meetings before the 2026 season, where referees reportedly admitted they needed to improve after the controversy surrounding last year's games. According to Cunningham, officials openly acknowledged mistakes and said they had to be better moving forward. That admission completely changed the conversation for many fans, because it sounded like confirmation of what people have been arguing for 2 years. And Cunningham, never missing an opportunity to make a point with humor, responded perfectly. She joked that if the referees were now admitting they handled things poorly last season, then maybe the league should return the $1,500 fine she received for criticizing officiating. The audience erupted laughing, and the clip spread all over social media almost instantly. But underneath the joke was a serious point that hit hard with basketball fans everywhere. She had been punished for publicly saying something that officials themselves later appeared to acknowledge privately. Now fast forward to May 26, 2026, because this is where the story takes another dramatic turn. The Indiana Fever faced the Golden State Valkyries on May 22nd in a game that quickly became one of the most talked about matchups of the season. Caitlin Clark was spectacular. She finished with 22 points, dropped multiple deep three-pointers from logo range, and controlled the pace of the game with confidence from start to finish. Indiana won 90-82, and the crowd inside the arena was electric all night long. But after one massive logo three, the energy shifted completely. Clark exchanged words with veteran Valkyries guard Tiffany Hayes in a moment that instantly went viral online. The interaction was intense, emotional, and full of competitive fire. As a pure basketball moment, fans loved it. It felt authentic, heated, and real. But what happened after the game is what truly pushed this entire situation into another level of controversy. Two competitors going at each other on the court? That is basketball. That is sports. Emotions run high, players talk trash, crowds get loud, and sometimes tempers flare in big moments. There's nothing unusual about that. What happened after the game, however, pushed the situation into far more serious territory. According to reports circulating online, a hot mic allegedly caught Tiffany Hayes backstage before her post-game media session, making comments about Caitlin Clark and the way games are officiated around her. The reported remarks suggested that referees supposedly allow Clark to get away with things other players would not. Whether fans agree or disagree with that opinion, it immediately became another major flashpoint in the non-stop debate surrounding Clark's treatment in the WNBA. And honestly, a lot of fans rejected that argument instantly. From their perspective, Caitlin Clark had just delivered another huge performance under pressure. She hit deep threes, controlled the offense, and helped lead Indiana to a win. To many viewers, reducing that performance to officiating sounded less like basketball analysis and more like frustration after a difficult loss. But even that was not the real controversy. The real backlash exploded after the conversation moved onto social media. Following the game, online discussions surrounding Clark and Hayes became increasingly heated. Fans on both sides flooded comment sections, debate shows, and social platforms, arguing over officiating, physical play, and the larger culture surrounding the league. Then one exchange reportedly crossed a line. A social media user posted a comment that appeared to reference the idea of people riding at dawn in support of Hayes against Clark. While the wording was vague, many interpreted it as a reference to threatening behavior or physical intimidation. Hayes then reportedly interacted with the comment in a way that sparked immediate criticism online, with screenshots spreading rapidly across sports media accounts and fan pages. That moment changed the tone of the entire conversation. Multiple outlets reportedly contacted the WNBA asking whether the league planned to review the interaction, whether it violated league conduct policies, and whether any disciplinary action was being considered. At the time, many fans noticed there was no immediate public response from the league, which only intensified the online reaction. And this is where the Caitlin Clark conversation becomes about something much larger than one player or one game. For the last 2 years, debates surrounding Clark have gone far beyond basketball itself. Some critics argue that the attention she receives overshadows longtime veterans who helped build the league before her arrival. Others believe the media coverage around Clark creates unnecessary division inside women's basketball. Meanwhile, her supporters argue that she has elevated visibility for the entire sport in ways few athletes ever have. Regardless of where people stand, one thing is undeniable. Caitlin Clark has become one of the biggest attractions in basketball. Her games draw enormous television audiences. Arenas fill when she plays. Clips of her logo threes and competitive personality dominate sports conversations online. She generates attention not only from traditional basketball fans, but from mainstream audiences who previously paid little attention to the WNBA. That level of visibility naturally creates stronger opinions, bigger rivalries, and more emotional reactions. But many fans believe there is a line between competitive intensity and personal hostility, especially when social media interactions begin escalating beyond basketball itself. Supporters of Clark argue that she should not be blamed for the attention she receives or the success she brings to the sport. In their eyes, a player capable of driving ratings, increasing national discussion, and introducing millions of new viewers to women's basketball represents an opportunity for the league, not a problem to solve. And as this latest controversy continues unfolding, the pressure on the WNBA to manage these situations carefully has only grown stronger. That is the real issue. And according to many fans, the pattern has existed long before Sophie Cunningham ever became part of the conversation. Concerns about Caitlin Clark's treatment on the court were already being discussed during her rookie season, especially as physical play and controversial no-calls continued generating headlines across the sport world. One of the most interesting voices to weigh in at the time was former NBA All-Star Joakim Noah. Known throughout his own career as a fierce competitor and emotional protector of teammates like Derrick Rose during the Chicago Bulls playoff runs, Noah immediately recognized similarities in the way Clark was being defended. Back in late 2024, he reportedly said that if he owned the Indiana Fever, one of the first things he would do was bring in a true enforcer to help protect Clark from excessive physical treatment on the floor. Noah's comments stood out because they came well before Sophie Cunningham became associated with that role. He argued that when a player is clearly the most dangerous offensive weapon on the court, opponents naturally become more physical, and leagues have to respond appropriately to keep games under control. In his view, Clark's talent level was making her a target, and Indiana needed someone willing to stand up for her consistently. Then Sophie Cunningham arrived, and suddenly fans felt like somebody had finally answered that call. When Cunningham stepped into confrontations defending Clark, the reaction online was immediate and enormous. Instead of criticizing her, many Fever fans celebrated her willingness to push back physically and emotionally against what they believed had been building for years. Her popularity skyrocketed almost overnight, and supporters viewed her as someone finally willing to protect the team's superstar publicly. That reaction said a lot about how emotionally invested fans have become in this entire storyline. To many viewers, Cunningham was not just another teammate. She represented frustration boiling over after 2 seasons of controversy, viral clips, hard fouls, and non-stop debates surrounding officiating and player treatment. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark herself has generally handled the situation with remarkable restraint. She has avoided publicly attacking opponents or turning every controversy into a media war. Instead, she has mostly focused on playing basketball, competing through physical defense, and letting her performances speak for themselves. Earlier this season, during an interview with David Letterman, Clark was even asked jokingly whether the WNBA had hockey-style enforcers protecting star players. Smiling, she responded by saying her teammates were not goons, while also making it clear that her team would always support and defend each other when necessary. Fans immediately interpreted that comment as another subtle acknowledgement of what Cunningham brings to the Fever roster. But the larger question surrounding all of this remains unresolved. At what point does the WNBA fully address concerns about protecting star players and maintaining consistent officiating standards during increasingly physical games? That conversation becomes even bigger when considering the league's growth over the last 2 seasons. Indiana Fever games have become major television events, with Clark drawing enormous audiences, sold-out arenas, and unprecedented national attention. Reports earlier this year noted that Indiana became the first team in league history to have all 44 regular season games nationally televised, a sign of just how massive Clark's impact has become on the sport's visibility. Supporters argue that level of exposure benefits the entire league. More viewers create more sponsorship opportunities, more revenue, larger contracts, and greater mainstream attention for women's basketball overall. From that perspective, many fans believe ongoing hostility toward Clark ultimately damages the broader momentum the league has worked decades to build.